We have a lot of fun events here in Palm Springs. Today is the annual Avanti Brunch. Let's go look at the cars. From one of our previous episodes, so you guys know the Avanti was a limited production car built by Studebaker. It was their last production model in 1963 and 1964. Because it was the early 60s, they had a lot of fun colors. Everything from bronze, white, maroon, turquoise. Even more fun, let's look at some of the interior colors. Bronze was a popular color in 1963. You could also choose a light blue. Beautiful red interior. In black, it's a beautiful interior as well. You could even get it in tangerine. I think I count 14 Avantis here at the brunch this afternoon. It's a great selection of cars here. All beautiful examples. You might recognize this. This is the car we used a few months ago in our Avanti episode.
Here we are in beautiful Las Palmas, Vista Las Palmas in Palm Springs, California. Palm Springs, California is the home of Raymond Loewy, who designed this fantastic car for Studebaker back in 1962, right here in Palm Springs. He brought in Tom Kellogg and his crew from Detroit who were working for Studebaker at the time. And the assignment was, A, keep Studebaker in business because they didn't have a sports car and the Corvette was killing them, and B, design a car that looked like Palm Springs. Sherwin Egbert, who was the president of Studebaker, said, I want it to look like Palm Springs. So he said, well, best way to do that is to bring the guys out here. So he rented them a little house right up the street, and they designed this car. And I got to tell you, my wife and I own several vintage cars, and when we drive around, people take pictures, they wave, but when they see this thing, they scream. It comes down the street, they go, ah, what's that, what's that? And they come running over. It's the craziest thing. So fiberglass body, same factory as the Corvette. If you look at the interior, it's built like an airplane, and that's because Raymond Loewy designed Air Force One for JFK. So it's very air-like. Even the mechanisms on the door are something you'd see on an airplane that you wouldn't see on a regular car. My wife came up with the idea after we got this car to throw a brunch for all of the people in Palm Springs that have these cars. And we've got people coming from all around. Now, LA, one guy brought his car from Chicago, and it's just wonderful to be here in the dream neighborhood where Raymond Loewy designed this car, the Studebaker Avanti.
Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it.
So we just moved here. We used to live in a historic house down the street called the Morse house. So we owned that house for 8 years, and then this house came up for sale. We started working on it. We found the blueprints in the house, which is always a treat. And they're signed by a guy named Tom Jakeway. And he designed the house in 1971, and it turns out he's still alive.
Okay, because he was really young, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, so what happened was we got a hold of him, and I said, you look to be about our age. He says, oh yeah, I'm the same age as you are. And I said, well, that means you designed this house when you were 17. He says, yeah, that's right. He says, I designed it in high school. They had an architecture and drawing course at Palm Springs High School, and he was sitting there working on a project. Stan Sackley came in, who built a lot of the stuff down in Canyon and looked over his shoulder and says, "Hey kid, that looks pretty good. What are you doing this summer?" So he hired him as an apprentice. Later on, Tom said he went to college, didn't learn anything, came back and went to work for Don Wexler.
Okay, yep,
So,
yep.
And
We all know what he's done.
yeah, Don's done everything in this town, and we've moved ahead a decade. You know, our house in Chicago, mid-century house, was from 1955. Then this house here was from 61. This one's from 73. So about every 10 years we move a decade into the future.
That's
So
okay.
we'll see you in the 80s.
Thank you very much, Gary. So this house is definitely set up for having a nice brunch. Everything from the sunken bar area to the outside pool area. As you can see, everyone's enjoying it. We hope you liked this episode of the Cars of Palm Springs. Please subscribe and hit like.